Okay, welcome to another video. Funny thing about, well, let me load into the game here so I don't have to see this stupid intro screen. Hello, and welcome to a mindless video that I've just decided to throw up here. I had a friend of mine say that he was getting back into Morrowind, and I told him to go and get open Morrowind and pointed him to my character creation video. Well, actually my starting guide, so you could actually have a decent character if you've never played Morrowind before. How to get started with that level 1 Red Guard build. Well, I figured I would give a quick. It's 4 in the morning, and I just got home from my night shift, so excuse me if I'm a little, messed up in the head. But I figured I would show my character that I created in that video how he's doing now. I play Morrowind every once in a while when I want to chill out. So, it's not something I do a lot. I just do it when I want to relax. But anyway, I wanted to show you how the character is coming along. Now, as I said before, agility is a very important stat, and you can see my agility rate. Don't mind the disease I have. I'm at that point. I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't played Morrowind before, but there is a point in the game where you contract a disease, and I'm not really worried about it because it's just part of the plot and it gets cured anyway, so it's not a big deal. But as you can see, my character has a very high agility of 155. So yeah, like I said in the character creation video, agility is your #1 stat, with strength and endurance kind of being tied for second, I guess you could say. As far as equipment goes, one of my favorite weapons in the game, at least until you get Chrisimir, and I believe it's in the Imperial Cult, I think it is, part of their quest line. But I have Goldbrand, which is a Daedric artifact. It's pretty good. And yes, I know you can change an Elton brand. I just don't like to because I'm a basketball fan and I know what that name means, and it's very jarring and takes me out of the medieval world of the game. Eidolon's Ward, however you pronounce it, also a very, very good piece of equipment that if you ever run out of magic points and you somehow need to heal yourself, you can use it in a pinch to heal yourself. It'll heal 50 to 100 points of health. Again, not too shabby. And then, of course, you have the Fists of Randagolf. The left one raises your agility by 20 points, and the right one raises your strength by 20 points. If you're wondering where to get these, they're probably my favorite items in the entire game. I'd say like halfway through the game, you're going to have to go to a 6th house base to kill a boss called, I believe, Dagoth Gares, Gares, I think is how it's pronounced. When you find him, a little bit past where you fight him, there's a room with a bunch of bells. If you look to the left, there is a stone tub, almost like an empty tomb, to the left of the bells, against the wall. There's some like random loot in the tub that's not really important, but if you look behind that tub, behind that tomb, that little open chest, behind there and in between the wall, you'll see these gauntlets laying on the ground. Very, very good pickup for pretty much any character build, because everybody needs agility and strength. As long as you have heavy armor skill, you can make use of them. And the Dragonbone Cuirass is probably the best heavy armor in the main game, not including the DLC areas. It's in a shipwreck. I can't remember where, but one of the coasts in the game. I can't remember where it was, but it was somewhere. You can look it up on the Morrowind wiki, the USE. What is it? The unofficial Elder Scrolls pages, the UESP. You can go there and just input Dragonbone Cuirass, and it'll tell you where it is. That's another really good item. I also like the 10 pace boots. Obviously, you can use the ability to help you run if you really want to, but I just like them because they are an artifact item and have a very high armor rating if you are doing a heavy armor build guy. And another piece of armor I like that I always go for when I'm making this type of character is the Helm of Orin Bearclaw, which is also in Oblivion too. It's also my favorite helmet in Oblivion, even though I don't really like Oblivion that much. And that is probably one of the best overall items in the game. There's a complicated quest line for it that involves a Daedra, so you'll have to be at least moderately powerful to complete it. But it gives you another 40 points of agility and 40 points of endurance. So with all of these items, I mean, you're doing pretty good. I haven't started crafting yet because that comes later in the game. But, pretty good. Since you last saw my Morrowind video, I've installed quite a few mods since then that improve the graphics, that improve the water, make it more see-through. I have a ENB, all this happy horse crap to make everything pretty, and I've got AI textures and everything to make the game look absolutely freaking gorgeous. So, Morrowind is a great game when played through Open Morrowind with a lot of mods. So, let's mess around and I'll show you how far this character's gotten. I really do love to play Morrowind when I'm like kind of depressed or pissed off, or I just need to like chill out. Because Morrowind is just such a relaxing, positive experience. It's one of those few games that doesn't really demand a lot of you as a player, but actually gives a lot back to you. It's very rare to find a game that asks... Yeah, I hate that. Asks very little of you, but yet gives you so much in return. And that's what's so beautiful.
The prey approaches.
So, I'm at the point now where, and I might as well just well, I probably spoiled enough of it. There's an affliction you get, and you have to kill it. And it's actually my favorite part of Morrowind, because this is where you actually get to see a dwarf. Throughout the entire history of Elder Scrolls, there's only been one dwarf that you've ever actually been able to talk to, and that's in the Corpusarium. So, I always liked that part. Out of all the Elder Scrolls games, out of all the moments and all the quests in them, this is actually my favorite. Because if you have a high lockpicking too, you can also go steal a very nice blade. That blade from Battlespire, that Crescent blade. If you know, you know. Some of you Morrowind veterans probably already know what I'm talking about.
Yes, what is it?
I have to remember how to get out of here.
What, stranger?
Okay, so, we'll just walk on water like, we're the chosen one. That's kind of how we roll. Now my marksman ability is not too good, because I don't really use it too often. But I always recommend getting marksman if you're not going to use destruction magic. If you're not going to use offensive magic, I highly recommend having marksman, because it's the only ranged attack you're going to get. If you if you can build it up, it can actually be, you know, halfway passable. When you fight Dremora that are heavily armored, that can do a lot of status effect damage, it's actually pretty good to have the option to attack with a bow. So, like I said in my character creation video, it's a pretty cool thing to do. To have that marksman as a little backup when you don't want to melee something. At this point in the game, this character is pretty much as powerful as he needs to be to beat the game. The only thing I will do now is probably top his levels off a bit. And let's see, how close am I to level 20? About 3. So you figure you got about 3, 4. I could very easily, just through casual grinding, get this character another 10, 11 levels. So probably about level 30 I'll start moving up my enchantment. I have started moving it up by training it. I recommend, once you start getting a lot of gold, like my character here has 38,000 gold, because you're going to start, enemies are going to start dropping like ebony and Daedric equipment. And there's a mud crab outside of Vivek. Once again, go to the official Elder Scrolls pages and look it up on the wiki. It'll show you the exact location. You can go to that mud crab and he has a lot of money. It's not cheating, it's in the game, it's not a cheat. And you can sell him all the Daedric equipment you have and you can make a lot of money. Once you have that money, every level before you level up, you should go and train your enchantment up, like maybe 5 levels at least, because that will allow you to raise your intelligence up, which will in turn raise your magic up. So eventually you do want to enchant things, so, you know, spending the money to raise up your enchantment is like mid to late game concerns. That's something you should definitely think about when you're in the mid to late game, like around this point.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
It's actually been a little bit of a while since I played this game to this point.
No, I don't think so.
What, Outlander? Why do you disturb me?
Now, one thing you should know, I don't know if I have a high enough, I don't know if I have a high enough lockpicking to do it, but okay, that's not what I was going for. I remember... Yeah, Scourge is great. You just picked up a Daedric artifact, that's all nice and well. But, there should be something that teleports you to that, it's been a long time. Oh yeah, it might be this one. Let's see. I think this is it. I don't know if I can beat him. I knew this SOB was going to do that. This weapon is so annoying. There's a way to make yourself...
Wealth beyond measure, Outlander.
Okay, well... How did I always beat him before? It's gotta be... Okay, that time we got it. Good. Okay, so that's one. That's one of the things I like to get here. It's one of the reasons why I build my security up so high. Now check this bad boy out. It's my favorite weapon in the game. If you ever played Battlespire, right? You'll remember that they had the Daedric Seducer on the box art. I still have my Battlespire box over there. One day I might do that video again where I show you my collection, but everybody makes fun of it, calls me a loser, so I don't do it. But that being said, if you remember, the character on that box art had this weapon, right? This is a really wicked weapon. You hit somebody with that, they're gonna feel it. It does massive damage. It paralyzes. It is really, really good. So, yeah, I like that. Anyway, let's continue about our mission here. What you're really supposed to do is you're supposed to lockpick the chests in a certain order, and you get different keys that open up the different treasure chests that eventually lead you to that one treasure chest. But see how the keys are all numbered? But it's pointless because you can just pick the lock on that last one and just grab it, so, you know.
I'm sure there's someone else you can bother.
Should be somewhere in here. I'm embarrassing myself because I forget where everything is. Like I said, it's been a while. It's supposed to be down below. Because I wanted to show you the
What is it, pest?
think that's part of it too. I think all those level 100 chests are part of that quest. That's why you just go and get and unlock the one next to him on the shelf to where he's standing, and then you don't have to worry about it. Not sure if I'm really going the right way. You know, there was a time where I used to insult Morrowind fans by telling them that the dungeons were tiny and insignificant compared to Daggerfall's dungeons. It's times like this I realize that that's kind of bullshit in a way. Because the dungeons in Morrowind are just as aggravating. Just in a different way. Oh yeah, there he is. We got him. So there you go. I probably ruined it for you if you've never played Morrowind before, but there is the last living dwarf. And so far the only one that ever, not this guy I'm talking to, but the fat dude in the back. Once I was a master crafter in the service of Lord Kagranak, the guy who created the profane tools that you use. Well, I've probably already spoiled enough. The chief architect of the great Second Empire freeholds and the greatest enchanter of his time. I could not match the genius of Lord Kagranak, but what he could envision, I and my colleagues could build. All of that is gone forever. I still retain my cunning, but my hands and eyes fail me, and my memories have long faded. My only consolation is each day to mock the gods who destroyed my race and condemned me to this bleak existence. Since the disappearance of the dwarfs, I have been alone in this world, trapped in this grim prison. I can scarcely move, and my fellow inmates are scarcely good company. The risk of corpus disease deters most visitors, but if you meet with cultivated minds undaunted by the terrors of the corpusarium, you might mention your recent interview with the last living dwarf. This is how I style myself. I do not know for a fact that I am the last, but in my travels thousands of years ago, I never encountered another. And since I have been here, I often ask Lord Fear, or Fire, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he says he has never heard a credible rumor of another Dwemer on Tamriel or in any outer realm. I cannot say what happened. I was not there to observe. I was in an outer realm at the time. And you know, I'll tell you the truth, I think when they refer to outer realms, I have a theory about the dwarfs. I think that they were space travelers. And I think what they probably did was they were on another planet or a star or in space, and something came for them, or maybe they learned portal technology or went to another dimension. Sort of like, you know how people say that CERN, the particle collider at CERN, like opens portals and stuff? Well, it could have been something like that. You know, some science fiction, almost implausible event where they just accidentally fiddled with the wrong atom, the wrong particle, and ended up somewhere else. Lord Kagrenak, the foremost arcane philosopher and magecrafter of my era, devised tools to shape my mythopoeic forces, intending to transcend the limits of Dwemer mortality. However, in reviewing his formula, some logicians argued that side effects were unpredictable and errors might be catastrophic. I think Kagrenak might have succeeded in granting our race eternal life, but with unforeseen consequences such as wholesale displacement to an outer realm, or he may have erred and utterly destroyed our race. I don't think there's anything... Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a full suite of...
Filthy sweat!
Okay, so you're not allowed to steal from here, apparently.
Filthy sweat!
Okay, so we got what we wanted anyway, so we're just going to forget that. See, this has always been my favorite part of Morrowind. I love how Morrowind, more so than any other Elder Scrolls game, really built upon the lore and took it to new heights. In my opinion, there really hasn't been an Elder Scrolls game that's done as much for the lore as Morrowind has.
What is it, pest?
Another thing I love about Morrowind is everything in the game is so incredibly diverse. Like, there's the towns are different, the dungeons are different. You know, things actually have their own style. I heard a rumor, actually I've heard this rumor many times, so it may in fact be true, that most of the development team was actually high on drugs when they made this game, and that's not being ignorant, it's actually true. I heard they were like doing LSD, and a lot of the, like the whole thing with Caius Casades, the Spy Master in Balmora, is basically them getting high. And that's why the plot is actually halfway decent in this game as compared to every other Bethesda game, which has absolutely shit-tastic plot lines.
Is there something I can do for you? Under sun and sky, Outlander, we greet you warmly.
See, now that that's over with, you'll notice that you're immune to Corporus, and you're also immune to all blight disease and common disease, so you're completely immune to all diseases now, including Corporus, and I already have the resist poison 75%, so you never again have to worry about getting diseases. So, what we do is we then
I see you. Hello.
Now, when you really want to cause some damage and you really want to break the game, you're going against a tough enemy.
Do not waste my time.
That's when you take out the Daedric Crescent blade, because this bad boy, oh, this thing can really put a hurting on people. So yeah, this is my character. As you can see, he's doing pretty well. One thing, now I do have a, I'll show you where my house is, because I always have, I'm far enough in the game where I've ingratiated myself with one of the factions to the point to where they built me a mansion. But you see these you see these cases over here, these boxes? This is where I put my stuff. The things I want to store that I can't fit in my house or that are too heavy for me to carry there, I put a lot of this stuff here. So I have some Daedric armor that I plan to enchant. You know, simple stuff like that. Like the extravagant rings. When I get one of those, when I get extravagant stuff, like rings and amulets. They're enchantable, so I keep them, and that way I'll enchant them later in the game. So I got a Daedric shield. I got a Daedric battle axe. But you know what? Before I go ahead and close this video out, you're probably bored to tears because, you know,
Say what you want or go away.
I'm not doing anything special here. But, you know, it's just a chill video, man. You're just sitting back, enjoying life, watching someone putz around in Morrowind. It's all good. Life's short, enjoy it. Relax while you can. It's a crazy world out there. So I'll show you my, Oh, you know what? When I was in my 20s playing Morrowind when it first came out, I had a mod that added a mansion right here. It turned this little hillside into like a 3-level mansion that had a ton of dummies and stuff that you could put your equipment on to show them off. I don't know where that mod is now. I've not been able to find it. I wish I still had it. But that's what I used to do. It was such a nice house, too. It had lots of things to show off your equipment. Now you may be wondering why I don't have my recall spell set to my mansion. The reason why is because normally I don't go there, because I just go to Balmora, because I can always rest at the inn there, or the Fighters Guild for free. And it's close to the Mages Guild, which allows me to transport to all the other major locations in the game. Look how clear that water is. I mean, that is some good stuff. See, that Dragonbone Cuirass is a really good looking armor. You pair it with an ebony, the ebony pauldrons, which you can enchant later, and that that brown and yellow skirt. It really looks hip. I mean, I really like that look. You gotta admit, that looks pretty cool. At least it does to me. Because, as we all know, an Elder Scrolls game really isn't about beating the game or finding the best armor. It's about finding the best fashion pieces and making a good-looking character. That's a well-known fact. So here's the mansion that you get built for yourself when you reach a high enough reputation with one of the houses. There's each of the houses builds you a different mansion in a different location. But I just like this one because it's the closest to Balmora. So it's just a short walk to everywhere you need to go. And you
Is
get some
there something I
NPCs
can
that
do
clean
for
your
you,
house and
Hakan?
do everything for you. Let's see, do I have a torch? Now, I decorated this area. All these books you see, everything that's laying out, I decorated it. See how there's a glass sword? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Daedric Mace Malakath there. All these things, you know, are really neat. Some of them come in that house already. Like these arrows and that. You can decorate it to a certain extent. Like I put my favorite books up there. You just have to be able to aim things correctly. There you go. And I like to store some of my equipment in here. I got a full set of glass armor. That I also plan to enchant at some point. I got extra armory hammers, stuff like that. More armory hammers. I think in here I have all the quest items. So I try to keep everything organized. I have my I have a couple golden saints here, grand soul gems. Now when you do enchant, the best thing you can do is get a grand soul gem with a golden saint. That's the absolute best enchantment enchantment modifier you can get. Golden saints are the highest level soul in the game. You can find what you do is you find ways to summon them, because you will find in random loot summon golden saint scrolls. You summon them, soul trap them in a grand soul gem, and you're good to go. So it's a nice cheap way to get stuff. Exquisite and extravagant rings. Exquisite ring, that's it. Exquisite is the highest level ring for enchanting. So if you take, let's say, this golden saint grand soul gem, and you put it on this exquisite ring, you can have the highest level enchantment available, provided you also have 100 in your enchant score, and you have enough money to pay for it. That's the rub. So it's sort of endgame stuff at that point. So before I close out this video, I'm going to show you a couple other characters I'm working on. There's, of course, Raymir, my Corsair that you saw me make in that character creation video. But I'm also working on a, not exactly a 100% mage, but what I decided to do is make a, sort of like a war cleric. I don't know if that's the proper term, but here's my description. War priest. Often starting as a standard clergyman, the war priest is an individual who has realized that in order to protect those he values, he must learn to destroy as well as heal. Proficient in all forms of magic, but focusing on destruction and restoration, a skilled war priest can adapt to any situation. So essentially what I want to do is I want to make an all-around mage that can also bust out with the weapons when they need to. I'm planning on using Sunder, or maybe Scourge, of course, as the main weapon that she'll be using through the game. More than likely, I'll get Scourge and have her use the mace I just picked up in Devoth First Tower. I'll have her use Scourge with probably Eidolon's Ward Shield for a while, and that'll be her main melee attack. But with, let's see, she has 2 times intelligence and spellcasting, so with an intelligence of 100, she'll have 200 spell points, which will give her more than enough opportunity to do damage with magic. So that's really what I want to do, is I wanted to make like a mage that could also bust out with the weapons and start kicking some butt in melee too. And the other character I'm thinking of is a lightly armored short blade user. I thought about making them a wood elf, and so they would get the boost to marksman, but I didn't think it was that important. I went with dark elf mainly so that I could have the ancestor guardian, which helps early in the game, but also because they have that they do have some magic resistance. They resist fire 75%, which pretty much helps throughout the entire game. So, and female dark elves have good stat balancing. They can also like the male Red Guards, start with an agility of 75, which at least makes it so that she can do some serious damage and her hit rate doesn't suck. Like, I'll go over here, I'll show you. Oh, I already killed that one. Okay, so that's... Here, let's attract some fish. See, she has a very high hit rate, even with short blade. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, well, there's no really good short blades in the game. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of good bows that you can get to. So that's the other character I was thinking about playing. Wonderful thing about Morrowind is there's always something new to try. Anyway, that's it. I just thought I would show you this random video. This is should give you an idea if you did in fact make that character from my character creation video and you wondered like, gee, I wonder if he's still playing it, and I wonder what this character looks like when you start to build him up. Well, this is what they look like. You know, superhuman agility. What's my base agility? Let me see what my base agility is. Okay, so, yeah, my base agility is, I guess it must factor that in. So, I mean, our agility will probably top off at about 160, which isn't bad. Strength, same thing, it's not too bad. You basically want your, at least your strength and agility if you're playing a melee character to be around 150, 160, that's what you're shooting for. Strength will take some enchanting. What I'll probably do is I'll enchant my greaves with some strength. The pauldrons, I usually enchant my pauldrons with some shield so that I can get a higher armor rating with them. And then I'll create some rings that will also move up my intelligence so I can get more magic points. So, you know, yeah, that's endgame level. And I'll probably make a video later this year when I start playing this game more often, and I'll show you what the character will look like then. So, there you go. It's an awesome build. That's why I made the video on it, because I figured you guys, if you know, you're one of those people that complain about Morrowind and you say, oh, well, I suck at it. Well, there you go. You can actually not suck at it. You just have to get off your butt and start playing. Sorry. So, yeah, there you go. Wonderful game, and you got to see the last dwarf, and I probably spoiled it for you if you haven't got that far in the game. But there you go, just a random video. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a good night and get some rest.